today. From Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. And the San Francisco 49ers taking on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014. As you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play fake from Mostert. Now Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
12 yards to go.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A 4-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Lions will take over. We see Matthew Stafford, the one-time Georgia Bulldog, set to pilot the offense of the Detroit Lions.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And they'll begin by running the option. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 13 carries, 53 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
On 2nd down, Johnson able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes his 2nd and 9. Stafford throwing on target to Jones. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 21. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First down, Detroit.
First down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford. High throw, but he makes the catch. And the Lions are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal from just inside the 5. Here's Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he's up 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Working from the gun, Garoppolo going for it all. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things out.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Stafford. Open man is Quintez Cephas. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Remember, they tried to get him the ball and run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking. So you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
to the sideline and incomplete. It's third down and 7 yards to go.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down. First down, Stafford here. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes one. These two teams all tied after one. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. His throw incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And now it's third down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they're behind you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. A 55-yard attempt. Normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
And some room to maneuver. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, given 14. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. return. Here comes Victor Bolden. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start with a handoff to Johnson. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Carry on Johnson, 77 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. That deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Badgley on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And Green with a catch left side. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo, eluding the pressure right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 12 yards there and a first down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that, the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football, all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
Good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Garoppolo now. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3rd and 19, no problem as they're able to convert.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Mostert. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 23-yard run. And the 49ers have moved down in front. I thought as that was developing that he might actually keep it, but the right decision, obviously, to hand the football off.
And some teams do a really nice job of taking a little bit longer at the mesh point, meaning where he's going to hand it off or keep it. Sometimes they ride it maybe a step longer than others. That allows them to make the proper decision and have the right person end up with the ball.
And it paid off with a long touchdown run. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. The touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, high throw, but the catch is made. Marvin Jones, touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, 64 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
But we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And he'll go right back to Green, but this time it's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This is Mostert. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That is Tomlinson, who is down. Boy, not what they want to see. We'll check on his status when we get back. try and run for it on 1st and goal. Power on power, but he's not going to get in. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them.
And across the goal and into the end zone. Touchdown. Great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the 49ers have moved down in front.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Now goal for the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Detroit's offense ready to take over. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Intended receiver there was Quintez Cephas. And it's 2nd down.
Plays up 2nd and 10.
To throw again, Stafford. He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Halftime in a wild 1st half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. T.Y. Hilton, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to Southern Nevada. Check out the action going on beside the neon lights of Las Vegas. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Nick Foles with a couple of touchdown passes. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that 1st half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
This will make it into the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That brings up 2nd and 2.
Johnson again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Stafford throws complete to Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
43-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 31-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, let the natural light of today reflect that he is now getting into the end zone 2 times.
Look at you. You're a little Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his name?
No, I was just going with the meteorologist. Said it was a day game. I'm here.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. He's got it. This thing's turning a bit wild here. We're tied at 28. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the touchdown run came from Kerryon Johnson to cap things off. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away.
And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move speed like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there.
They go play action here on first down. Gets this one to use check. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, they go with Mostert again.
All the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39. I thought he had the angle along that sideline. Didn't quite get there, though.
Didn't quite get there, but they did keep him from getting into the end zone. Now when you look down and line up on defense, you see the goal line beneath your feet. If that doesn't motivate you to play harder, I don't know what will.
They'll run with Mostert. And this time he is in. Raheem Mostert with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the 49ers have moved down in front.
Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Gold to add the extra point. It's up and good, and they jump back ahead, 35-28. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
To kick off for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
19-yard line.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. That'll bring up second down. Throwing again. Stafford.
Going right back to Jones. This time the connection made.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
We can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, any lane that might
might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's third down and 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Stafford now to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.